the law was written, more than 30 people in Central Florida have used Stand Your Ground as a defense.
9 investigators reviewed the records to find out how many times defendants have been successful and if the law does in fact have a racial bias. Investigative reporter Christopher Heath found out not everyone who claimed Stand Your Ground walked free.
Got something to say to me?
1 year before the George Zimmerman verdict, this brawl in Osceola County erupted as a defendant, Jason Clare, was claiming Stand Your Ground. 3 months later, he would be found guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder, sentenced to life in prison.
You cannot be the aggressor. You have to be physically attacked or about to be attacked.
That was not the case for Clare. Eyewitness News has reviewed all 31 cases in Central Florida where Stand Your Ground was either used by the prosecutor or the defendant. 2 cases remain pending, but in the other 29, 20 people were either acquitted or never faced charges.
We, the jury, found the defendant not guilty.
This year, when Officer Timothy Davis was found not guilty in his son's death, he became the 7th out of 8 local African Americans to avoid jail time under the law.
It seems that from the cases that did use self-defense, that race didn't have anything to do with it.
UCF criminal science professor Kareem Jordan says while race may not be a factor, the law itself is too vague, leaving elements open to interpretation.
So the issue that I'm seeing is that it allows discretion by the average person.
In 2006, long before anyone had ever heard of George Zimmerman or Trayvon Martin, one of the first Stand Your Ground cases ever played out in this Polk County neighborhood. According to the Sheriff's Department, 2 men came from this house, walked across the street to this house, and that's where the homeowner pulled a gun.
Self-defense is well defined in law.
Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd was on the scene that April night. At the time, he didn't know this would be one of the first ever Stand Your Ground cases. In the end, a grand jury refused to indict the homeowner, Michael Brady. The cases we reviewed for this come from 10 counties that make up Central Florida. It's estimated that the law has been used 92 times statewide. However, there is no central database that lists every case where either the prosecutor or the defendant has invoked Stand Your Ground. Greg and Marty.
Very interesting. Thank you, Chris. The debate over Stand Your Ground isn't going to die down anytime soon, of course. And you can join the conversation by going to facebook.com/WFTV and clicking on this story.